Awkward business moment number 17, the sales cold call.
Hi, yes, this is Toby from Vacuums and More. I was wondering if I'm sorry, hello? Hi, I've got come on. Hi, this is Toby from Vacuums and More. I'm sorry, sir. Okay. Are our phones down or something? No one's answering the phone. Oh, I gotta dial 9?
You gotta dial 9, yeah.
I did, okay. Answer the phone! Hi there, this is Toby. Hi, I'm so sorry to interrupt dinner. Hello? No. This is not a sales pitch. This is more than that, actually. Well, okay, it's a sales pitch, but hi, this is Toby from Vacuums and More. I was calling for Mr. Gene Banks. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I hadn't realized he had passed. Well, who do I have on the line here? Hello?
Folks, on today's show, we're going to talk about why you have to call your leads until they cry, buy, or die. Huh? Yes, you have to call your leads until they cry, buy, or die. Whoa. What? Yes, on today's show, we're recording this show specifically for you if you own a business or you want to, and for my good friend Charles. And Gabe, I'm wanting to see if you can speak some life into my good friend Charles and to my good friends, anybody watching this show, but specifically my good friend Charles, and I'll tell you why. Because when you run a business and someone goes to your website, windowninjas.com, Gabe, you have 11 locations. We've had the opportunity to help you scale this business. It's going great. When somebody goes to windowninjas.com and they fill out that form, it's simply not normal anymore for people to answer the phone if they don't know the number. It's simply not normal for people to answer the phone right after they fill out the form. I don't know why that is. I can't change it. But the reality is we have to call every lead until they cry, buy, or die. And now, without any further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, Gabe Salinas. Welcome on to the Thrivetime Show. How are you, sir?
I am great, Clay. Good to see you again.
Let's talk about it. First off, someone goes to windowninjas.com. Your call center. You have a call team. These are not technicians. These are not local managers. This is a call team that is dedicated to doing nothing but calling the leads until they cry, buy, or die. Why did you make the decision to have people that only focus on calling the leads and not people that are also, simultaneously managing the local locations or out there cleaning windows or doing the things that local managers might normally be doing?
Well, a call center is what a call center is, and you got to have dedicated agents that are, there to answer the phones live. And so that team out there in the call center, man, those guys are devoted to picking up the phone, helping a customer, answering questions, following scripts, making sure that the leads are put into the right places in our tracking sheets, scheduling the jobs properly. They've got a profession in there that is definitely a skill. But yeah, they put their head down every day. They come in there, they do their job, they do their work, and they're focused, laser focused, which is what you got to be.
Let's talk about it for a second. Leads come in. Someone fills out the form. You would think that they're interested, an ideal and likely buyer, a great customer, finds you online. They fill out the form. They say, hey, I want you to clean my window. I'm requesting a free quote. I need you to clean. You do skyscrapers. I mean, you guys clean massive skyscrapers. You also clean residential homes. You clean commercial buildings. I mean, what's the tallest building that you clean, you think? What's the tallest building you clean?
The tallest we have gotten 60-ish stories.
Oh, it's too tall. So and what's the average building? Is it a 1-story or 2-story?
The average high-rise building is in the 20-story range. Mid-rise is about 10. Residential homes go up about 3 stories at the most.
And you have 11 locations. What states are you in?
We're in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, and Virginia.
Do you remember when you pulled the Band-Aid off and decided, you know what, I'm going to rip off the Band-Aid. Now I'm going to dedicate a full-time person or persons to doing nothing but calling the leads until they cry, buy, or die. Do you remember doing that?
Oh, I remember it. I remember it very well. It was fun times, especially in the beginning when you're trying to figure it all out.
When you give someone a script, though, that you've written and you know it works, and you're following up, with your wonderful team. Now you have a culture of follow-up. But when you first were trying to get that momentum going and trying to get your team to call the leads until they cry, buy, or die, what kind of excuses or objections or pushback were you getting? Now you have a great culture of success, but when you were first getting it going, what kind of pushback were you getting from your team as you were trying to create that culture of persistence and following up with leads until they cry, buy, or die?
Well, that's funny because you asked that because it's a great question. So we were doing things fairly decently. We were answering our phones, we were doing our things, but people like to get into once they get into a habit, Clay, it's really hard to break a habit. And so when you and I started getting together and we started learning, I started learning, how to develop a call center, how to script calls, how everybody needs to answer the phone the same way, how we're going to track it, all, the whole 9 yards, man. People have a hard time getting out of an old habit, whether it's a good habit or a bad habit. And so they fought me tooth or nail. Like, you want me to follow a script? Yes, I do. Oh, I don't need to follow a script. I've been doing this forever. And so, it was just a change. The culture just had to be changed. And man, we had to let a lot of people go because they just couldn't see the future. And once we got new people in who didn't have any clue as to what we did or what their job was, once we got them in and we started training them and we showed them the scripts, it became second nature. They liked it. If I took the scripts away from those guys today, man, it'd be revolt out there. I'd have to go find a whole new team.
Now, you have a great culture now where leads, if someone fills out the form, you do call the leads until they cry, buy, or die. Now, someone says, why am I saying cry, buy, or die? Because most people, the average person, most people would think, if someone fills out the form, I'll call them one time and then I'll see if they call back. No. And most call centers today, and I'm not giving people fake numbers and fake statistics, I'm just telling you anecdotally from my own businesses and the clients I work with, the average person, when they fill out the form, they need to be sent a text, they need to be called, and they need to be emailed until you reach them. It just turns out the average person has to be contacted via call, text, and email over and over and over until you reach them. And I find we call that a cycle. In my office, we call it a cycle. So if we call, text, and email you, we call that the cycle. We find in my own office, the average person has to be cycled 3 times before we reach them. You might find that to be shocking that the average person needs to be cycled through 3 times. But talk to me about this. Why is it not normal for call reps to want to call the same lead over and over and over until they reach them?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe they think that because if they were personally busy, maybe at their own house, taking their own shower, maybe playing with their dog, or they don't want to be interrupted, and they got their phone on vibrate or do not disturb, but they did make a phone call out to somebody because they needed something for the puppy, maybe the puppy needs a bath. But yeah, maybe because they don't answer their phone, they feel like one's enough. So, but not over here at Window Ninjas. That's not what we do. We call them till they cry, buy, or die. I mean, our text is a little different. When we send a text out to somebody, we call them first. Don't get them, leave a voicemail. Then we text them. But when we text them, man, we don't just send one text. We send like 15 texts in a row. We're going to jingle jangle their phone till it's about to fall off the hook. And then we're going to shoot them an email, and then we repeat the process again. And it just keeps on over and over. It's a doom loop until it's a success loop. But you gotta try more than once, man. You just can't try one shot and that's it.
Now, I'll tell you this. On part 2 of today's show, I'm going to share a video. There's a chiropractor by the name of Dr. J. This guy filled out the form to want to come to one of our conferences. And I'm not kidding you. We had called this guy north of 20 times. How do I know that? Because we track. And he finally was like, hey, what's going on? Who's calling me all the time? And he tells the story at our conference. He told the story. He said, I get on the phone and I'm like, who's calling me all the time? You guys call me every day. And we go, it's the Thrivetime show. You filled out the form. You wanted to come to a conference. He's like, oh man, yes, I did want to come to a conference. I'm sorry about that. I didn't recognize the number. And so our call rep was like, did you see the text? He's like, no, I get so many text messages. I don't even read them. So she's like, did you check the voicemail? I don't listen to voicemails. Did you see the email? I don't have time to do email. I have thousands of emails in my inbox. There's more and more people that now say they don't check voicemail ever. There's more and more people that say they don't check voicemail ever. There's more and more people that say their email is too full to check. Are you shocked by this phenomenon that more and more people are saying their email is now too full to ever be checked and their voicemail is something they no longer check? Are you shocked by this cultural phenomenon?
Absolutely not. I mean, the culture phenomenon that I see is the hoarding class. They're hoarding emails, Clay. I mean, they've got a box of emails that are 1,000 deep, and it's like they're just constantly scrolling through them and saying, like, I don't know, maybe they're going to produce, I don't know, wheat or something. I don't know what they're doing with those daggone emails, but yeah, man, it's like this whole culture of people who just want to hoard everything. They're hoarding emails. They're hoarding voicemails, they're hoarding text. I mean, all of it. I don't even know how their phones work anymore with the stacked up data that they got in that thing.
Now, a final question I have here for you, then we'll talk about window ninjas, is the fortune is in the follow-up. Jim Rohn, the best-selling author who was inspired by Napoleon Hill, the best-selling author Jim Rohn, who inspired the career of Tony Robbins. Jim Rohn, the late great self-help author, R-O-H-N, Jim Rohn. He said the fortune is in the follow-up. And I find in my office, I know you find it in your office, that unless somebody is managing the relentless follow-up, people will drift into a dystopia where they just don't do anything. Talk to me about the importance of having your highly skilled, highly motivated managers that follow up over and over and over with your teammates to make sure everybody is performing at peak performance.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's why you hire managers and you hire competent managers that know how to lead. Leadership is another lost art in America today, but hey, I think we're going to bring that one back at some point. But yeah, man, if you got a good leader, a good manager, whatever you want to call them, man, it's their responsibility, it's their duty, and it's for them to be able to follow up with their team to make sure that their team is following up with the leads. Look, there's a lot of people out there that don't answer their phones. There's a lot of people out there that send everything to voicemail. There's a lot of people out there that don't even know how to check their text messages. But that doesn't mean you stop. You got to call them 3 times in a row. Bang. Okay. Give them a break for about 10 minutes. You got to call them again and then just keep on repeating that cycle. And you know what, Clay? It ends up being a successful cycle because eventually you're going to break that rock. And when you break that rock, hey man, there's a whole lot of gold inside of the middle.
Now, for our good friend Charles, bad news for you. You have to manage your own call center, and you know that, my friend. I know you're excited about doing it. Now, good news for anybody out there that doesn't own their own business, you can buy a windowninjas.com franchise, and then Gabe's team will call the leads for you. Yes, that's part of the windowninjas.com franchise experience. If you buy a windowninjas.com franchise, you get access to the proven call center that will call your leads for you until they cry, buy, or die. Gabe Salinas, I want to get your thoughts on this. Why should everybody out there look into buying a windowninjas.com franchise with 60 seconds on the clock, stepping behind the three-point line? Somehow you have 60 seconds on the clock. You're behind the three-point line. Why should everybody look into buying a windowninjas.com franchise?
Man, everybody needs to have a Window Ninjas franchise. It is a great opportunity for somebody to jump into entrepreneurship, have a proven playbook, have a team that answers your phones for you, takes the jobs and books them on your calendar, sets you up for success so that you can go out there and wow a customer, make a bunch of money, put it in your bank account, build a big house, buy a big building, go on vacation every quarter. Man, who doesn't want a Window Ninjas franchise, Clay? I mean, did I paint a good enough picture for you? Because, hey, that's kind of what I do every day.
I mean it, though. There's somebody out there who says, I want to earn time freedom and financial freedom, and I don't know how to do it. Buying a franchise is a lot like going bowling, like bumper bowling. You know, it's where you almost can't throw a gutter ball because the business model is so tight. In fact, Inc. magazine reports that 96% of business owners fail by default. And the reverse of that is true in the world of franchising. Very few people fail in franchising because there are systems or guardrails that protect you from failing. Gabe Salinas, thank you so much for carving out time for us today. I really do appreciate you. I'll give you the final word. What do you say to our highly motivated, caffeinated listeners out there that are taking notes?
Man, if you're out there taking notes, hey, pay a lot of attention to Clay and what he has to say, as well as what all our guests are saying as well, man. Listen, if you want a business, you want to learn business, you want to know business, you want how to be successful in business, Clay is the man to talk to. He will definitely get you to the point where you will be a success.
Take care, brother. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks. See, I always had coaches, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to build my business without having somebody that knew how to avoid all of the pitfalls that business throws at you. And so it was well worth the thousands of dollars that we spent a month to get this thing done. And now here we are. I mean, like I said, we're franchised out, we've scaled it, everything. I mean, I'm a success story from the coaching. there's always that time when you want to go out and have fun. Maybe you want to go hang out with you got a lunch date that calls, maybe some guys, friends of yours. Hey, Gabe, let's go watch the NCAA tournament. It's Friday. Come on, man. You can come out with us at 12 o'clock and we'll have some beers and some burgers and we'll watch the basketball game. No. And you have to be very disciplined. No. and so they're like, what's wrong with you? It's like, I'm working. I've got goals. I've got things I got to do. My business needs me today. And I want to scale my business. And that was important to me. And it was important to my family. And so they were like, yeah, Gabe ain't going to do anything until he gets to a point where he's happy and he's satisfied. And he feels like he can then turn things over because he's systemized things. He understands things. And then he can teach somebody else how to do that. So it really didn't take me that long, but once I learned how to get things done, and then I started learning how to, we were building these playbooks, Clay and I were building these playbooks, and so when we built those and I would give them to an employee, I'd be like, all right, cool, now this is your job. This is how you do your job. This is everything you need right here. Got any questions? No? Okay, great, now go. And so then we would check over it, and okay, great, you did a good job, cool, just do more of that. So that's when the time freedom really started showing up, is once those playbooks and everything was built and we were able to bring on somebody as an employee and say, okay, hey, here's what you do.
Right.
And that's all you have to do. Okay. And then off they went. That freed me up. And so, yeah, but in the beginning, man, we had to build the playbooks. I had to do the SEO. I had to make the videos. I had to do a lot of stuff. And, yeah, it was fun. Typically, most of the time, when you ask somebody that one key question, what is it costing you not to do this, they can actually reflect and they can start to figure out and visualize in their mind what their life looks like now and what they really want it to be. And then that light bulb will go off in their head and man, they'll just be like, I got to do this.
I write books, and in those books, I lay out specifically the proven path and how we do it. And at our workshops, we teach the proven path. And so box number 1, we establish revenue goals. You did that. Box number 2, we determine your break-even numbers. We did that. You did that. Box number 3, we determined how many hours per week you were willing to work. And I remember you saying, I'm willing to do whatever it takes so I can get there as fast as possible. And you did it. Box number 4, we figure out your unique value proposition. What is it that makes your business unique? And you did it. Box number 5, improve the branding. We optimized together the website. You already had an incredible logo, a branding idea, windowninjas.com. We did it. Box number 3, implementing a 3-legged marketing stool. That's a turnkey way in which you will generate leads. You did it. Box number 7, I would say almost everybody fights me about this one, but you didn't. That's where you install call recording and call scripts and call recording and, systems for sales. A sales process with call recording and sales scripts. And we never had to have a big woo-woo moment. You just said, okay, what program should I use? Okay, how do I record my calls? Okay, what call script do you recommend? Okay, what sales tools do I need? And we did it, and you implemented it. Box number 8, tracking the results. Most people fight about that. You never did. Box number 9, nomenclature. How you name files and organize files. It turns out you have to build an organization. You have to be organized. You never fought me on that. Box number 10, firing C players and hiring A players. You never fought me on that. You were totally willing to implement the group interview process for hiring, inspiring, training, and retaining great people. You quickly replaced C players with A players. You built a great team. Box number 11, creating a schedule for your team they can count on. You had no problem, no pushback on building a schedule. Box number 12, learning how to train, retain, hire, and inspire great people. No pushback on that. Box number 13, the accounting. You were 100% focused on knocking out, knowing your numbers. You were focused on measuring what you treasure. You knew that you would slack where you didn't track. You did it. And box number 14, you've always had clarity of your goals for your faith and your family and your finance and your fitness and your friendship and your fun. And now that you have all those systems in place, you can offer that as a turnkey solution at windowninjas.com. Folks, on today's show, we're going to talk about plowing through the proven path. We're going to focus on the windowninjas.com success story, and I'm going to do a lot of questions, rapid fire, for today's guest. And I'm also joined with 2 members of my team that are not on camera, but they're on mic. And so we're going to have Macy and Rihanna also asking some questions. So, Gabe Salinas, windowninjas.com, how are you, sir?
I am great, Clay. Thanks for having me today.
So we're going to go back memory lane, going back 4 or 5 years ago, okay, before the world became hyper-politicized about everything. And you and I, and you reached out to us at thrivetimeshow.com. You said, hey, I've got this business, windowninjas.com. I want everyone to go to that website real quick, windowninjas.com. and you said, look, I want to franchise this thing. And you wanted to go down a proven path. You knew where you wanted to go. Let's kind of start right there. When did you decide that you wanted to be a guy who would open up multiple super successful locations of a brand that cleaned windows?
Well, I've been in the industry for 30 years, Clay, so I kind of grew up with a squeegee in my hand. But yeah, I was with a company that was basically, how can I say, not very organized. And so when I decided to go out on my own, I brought my squeegee with me and my help wanted sign, and I called you guys up and I said, I got this tool. I know how to utilize it, but I need your help so I can grow my business. And I think that was like 6-7 years ago, man. And so since that point, man, we've been rocking and rolling, and we've been scaling ever since.
So I'm going to hyper focus in on your business, and Rihanna, I'm going to have you follow along what I'm doing here. I'm going to do a search for Window Ninjas. I'm doing a search for Window Ninjas, and I'm doing it on Google, Window Ninjas, just Window Ninjas, not .com, but just Window Ninjas. And when I do that, I believe you have 11 locations that are open. Am I getting that wrong there, Gabe? Do you guys have 11 locations open?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, something like that. Yep, we do. That's correct.
Okay, so 11 locations. So we Google search Window Ninjas, you got 11 locations. And for every client that we work with, anybody watching this show, the first thing we have to do is we have to optimize your website. And with working with you, I remember it like it was yesterday, there was zero pushback from you. You just said, show me what to do and I'll do it. Can you talk about that mindset you had? Because it was super easy working with you, because you said, look, I'm not a website expert. I am an expert of cleaning windows on a commercial level. Can you talk about the mindset you had? Because the mindset that you had when working with us is the mindset someone will need to have when working with you as a franchise owner. Can you talk about that mindset of just going, hey, show me what to do and I'll do it?
Yeah, well, my mindset was pretty clear. I was tired of being flat. And I don't know if anybody's had a business that's been flat, but if it's flat, then you definitely want to ask for a help. Throw me a lifeline, right? So, yeah, I was super motivated. I knew we were missing something. I didn't know exactly what it was. I remember going to one of your conferences, and I came back and I was like, man, okay, I got the tools that I need here. I'd listened to your podcast. I was like, I got that. We reached out to you, and you guys started coaching us, and I was just like, man, we went from flat to really increasing our revenue. I can't even remember what growth we had in that first year after working with you guys, man, but it was freaking awesome. And it just like the wheels just kept going faster and faster and faster, and we just kept scaling up, man. And it was awesome. So I didn't like the fact that we were flat. And if any other business owner is out there and they don't like being stuck or at a revenue point where they just can't get past it, man, you gotta reach out for some help. You need to find some professional help.
So, Rihanna, you work with actual business owners every day. What pushback do you have from people, or what questions do business owners have when you're like, okay, step one, we need to optimize your website and we need to optimize your Google Map? Do you get any pushback or any questions you might have for Gabe?
Yeah. What would you say was the most difficult thing for you to get over? What was the hurdle that was the largest for you when it came to optimizing your website and your Google Map?
Man, that's a great question. Clay, I think she's got you beat on the questions now, but she threw a good one out there.
All I know is you were super coachable, so you were going, hey, just show me what to do. But was there a difficult part? Because all I saw was the person who said, let's do it.
I think the most difficult part was actually getting everybody on my team moving in the same direction. And it was a come to Jesus moment. I think that's what typically businesses will have. I remember walking in the office one morning, I said, all right, give me every single human that is part of this system in my face right now. And I basically broke it down to them. I told them that they needed to go get Google reviews every single day. We needed to go create content so that we can optimize it for our website. We needed to, all the steps, things that you said to do right off the bat, bang, do these 3 things first and move. Man, I just ordered the troops to get it done. And I basically told them, man, this is our livelihood. And this is, if we want this thing to work and scale, then we all need to get in the boat and move in the same direction. And I guess that was motivating enough for them, because, man, next thing I know, we started getting so many different Google reviews. We started getting pictures and videos, and we started sending them over to you guys so you can help us upload those to the website. And man, we just started gaining a lot more traction.
Now, again, for anybody out there who's wanting to know what we're talking about here, again, we're guiding you down this process, the proven path. And if you buy a WindowNinjas.com franchise, Gabe and his team are going to coach you down the path. So I use one more example: Kolaw Fitness. So Rihanna, when I started working with Charles Kolaw, we had to write 1,000 words of content per page. We had to optimize their website, 1,000 words of content per page. Optimize the website, 1,000 words of content per page. We could probably do a 1,000-hour show about what that process is. But again, the owner of the business needed to write 1,000 words of content per page. And then once we launched the site and optimized the site and submitted the site to the Google Search Engine Console, at that point, Gabe, the homework that Gabe had, the homework that Charles Kolaw had, the homework that everybody's business owner has, is you have to do VISM. So video reviews, images, search engine content, more Google reviews every single week. Video reviews, images, search engine content, more Google reviews. So if you do a search right now for Joplin Gyms, Charles Kolaw has 12,000 objective Google reviews at this point. His website comes up top in the search results. Any other question you have for Gabe about the website optimization process? Because Gabe, if you had to grade a student as being like the best student of all time or the worst student of all time, Gabe is like the top of his class. I mean, Gabe knocked it out and was super great to work with. Any questions you have for Gabe about the website optimization process?
Yeah. How did you manage your time for knocking out all of the action items?
Man, I tell this story a lot. It's super easy. I didn't like it, but I had to go into my office. I had to shut the door. I had to tell everybody, leave me alone. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't knock on my door. Don't look through the little glass and say, wave at me. I just literally stuck myself in an office, shut the windows, closed the drapes, put my head down, and I got to work. And I would do that for 8 hours a day, just working on that for like weeks, while I'm also running a business, while I'm also, trying to make sure that, my managers and my leadership team were doing what they were supposed to be doing. But I knew that it was a priority, and I knew exactly that Clay was correct and his team was correct. And so when you're motivated and you know that what you're missing, what that piece of the puzzle that you're missing, and all you got to do is just do that thing, man, I just embraced it, and I just did it, and I just kept doing it until I could start seeing the results. And then I started having other members of my team start producing the things that I was producing. So yeah, I mean, for me, it wasn't hard, man. It wasn't. It was.
And now you have time. You have time freedom and financial freedom. I mean, now with WindowNinjas.com, I mean, you and your wife are able to freely travel. If I'm correct, right? Mm-hmm. You can travel when you want. You're
all the time.
Financially free.
Children free.
You maybe could you explain your lifestyle now? Because now you're at the other end of that process. Someone's watching this right now. They're just starting. How would you describe the lifestyle you're able to live now? Again, because you put in the work, you put on the blinders, you did it. But how would you describe maybe the lifestyle you have now?
Man, I pretty much have the life that I want. I go into the office when I want to go into the office. I get to spend time with my eldest son, who's our COO. Right? He's been in this industry for the past 15 years now. I got a wonderful wife who heads all of our accounting. So I mean, I get to work with my kids and my wife. My younger son, he's off at college. We're happy that we can send him to a private university out of state, right? And we're not worried about it because we have the financial means to do that. And man, I get a chance to talk to our franchisees. I get to see our employees over on the call center. I get to meet and talk to our service members that are working in our Wilmington location where I'm at. And man, and I just have a great day. I get up in the morning. I get to go run around. I can go exercise. I can go get lunch with my friends. I just pretty much can design my day-to-day the way that I want to now. I don't have to lock myself in a dungeon anymore and write content because I have people that are doing that stuff for us. And so, yeah, if you really want time freedom and financial freedom, to me, that looks like, what does your calendar look like? Are you doing the things that you want to do, right? And are you living the life that you want to live? It's not always about money. Granted, we definitely have more means with revenue now, but yeah, man, that's my day to day. That's my life. I mean, I'm happy. I'm gonna have dinner with my wife tonight. I got Dante sitting over here on my desk, hanging out with me while I'm talking to you. I mean, it's great.
Dante, your dog, Dante.
Little Dante, little Pomeranian. He's right here hanging out with
Dante
me.
can Dante wave at us? Can he wave at us just so we can prove that this is a real? Oh, there he is. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Hello, Dante. Good to see you, sir. Okay, so Macy, what question would you have? Because again, you're working with clients. You're going to coach clients down a proven path, and not everybody is as coachable. I would say this: not anybody is as approachable and coachable as Gabe was and is. Very few people have that mindset of like, just show me what to do and I'll do it. Any questions you have for Gabe about that initial onboarding process there, Macy?
Let's see. So now you have that freedom, financial time freedom. But in the beginning, did you have to reprioritize or start saying no to things that maybe you did before whenever you started taking on new tasks and thinking of things differently?
Man, that's a great question. And yeah, that absolutely. Because, you know, there's always that time when you want to go out and have fun. Maybe you want to go hang out with you got a lunch date that calls, you know, maybe some guys, friends of yours. Hey, Gabe, let's go watch the NCAA tournament. It's Friday. Come on, man. You can come out with us at 12 o'clock and we'll have some beers and some burgers and we'll watch the basketball game. No. And you have to be very disciplined. No. and so they're like, what's wrong with you? It's like, I'm working. I've got goals. I've got things I got to do. My business needs me today. And I want to scale my business. And that was important to me. And it was important to my family. And so they were like, yeah, Gabe ain't going to do anything until he gets to a point where he's happy and he's satisfied. And he feels like he can then turn things over because he's systemized things, he understands things, and then he can teach somebody else how to do that. So it really didn't take me that long, but once I learned how to get things done, and then I started learning how to, we were building these playbooks, Clay and I were building these playbooks, and so when we built those and I would give them to an employee, I'd be like, all right, cool, now this is your job. This is how you do your job. This is everything you need right here. Got any questions? No? Okay, great. Now go. And so then we would check over it and okay, great. You did a good job. Cool. Just do more of that. So that's when the time freedom really started showing up, is once those playbooks and everything was built and we were able to bring on somebody as an employee and say, okay, hey, here's what you do.
Right.
And that's all you have to do. Okay. And then off they went. That freed me up. And so, yeah, but in the beginning, man, we had to build the playbooks. I had to do the SEO. I had to make the videos. I had to do a lot of stuff. And yeah, it was fun.
Now we go on to this. I'm going to pull up a screenshot so people can see. I write books, and in those books, I lay out specifically the proven path and how we do it. And at our workshops, we teach the proven path. And so, box number 1, we establish revenue goals. You did that. Box number 2, we determine your break-even numbers. We did that. You did that. Box number 3, we determine how many hours per week you were willing to work. And I remember you saying, "I'm willing to do whatever it takes so I can get there as fast as possible." And you did it. Box number 4, we figure out your unique value proposition. What is it that makes your business unique? And you did it. Box number 5, improve the branding. We optimized together the website. You already had an incredible logo, a branding idea, windowninjas.com. We did it. Box number 3, implementing a 3-legged marketing stool. That's a turnkey way in which you will generate leads. You did it. Box number 7, I would say almost everybody fights me about this one, but you didn't. That's where you install call recording and call scripts and call recording and, systems for sales. A sales process with call recording and sales scripts. And we never had to have a big woo-woo moment. You just said, okay, what program should I use? Okay, how do I record my calls? Okay, what call script do you recommend? Okay, what sales tools do I need? And we did it, and you implemented it. Box number 8, tracking the results. Most people fight about that. You never did. Box number 9, nomenclature. You know how you name files and organize files. It turns out you have to build an organization. You have to be organized. You never fought me on that. Box number 10, firing C players and hiring A players. You never fought me on that. You were totally willing to implement the group interview process for hiring, inspiring, training, and retaining great people. You quickly replaced C players with A players. You built a great team. Box number 11, creating a schedule for your team they can count on. You had no problem, no pushback on building a schedule. Box number 12, learning how to train, retain, hire, and inspire great people. No pushback on that. Box number 13, the accounting. You were 100% focused on knocking out, knowing your numbers. You were focused on measuring what you treasure. You knew that you would slack where you didn't track. You did it. And box number 14, you've always had clarity of your goals for your faith and your family and your finance and your fitness and your friendship and your fun. And now that you have all those systems in place, You can offer that as a turnkey solution at windowninjas.com. Anybody who wants to buy a franchise, they can buy one from you, and they have the whole system ready to go. It's a turnkey system. So back to you, Rihanna. Any question that you have for Gabe on behalf of maybe a current client or a future client or somebody? Because, again, there's very, very few people that are this coachable, and Gabe is super coachable. He is approachable, and you're talking to a guy who's really at the head of his class.
What would be your biggest piece of advice for someone who's maybe just on the edge of saying yes to coaching, but they're not for sure and they don't fully trust it yet? What's the piece of advice that you would give them?
Well, before I get to the advice, this is what I would ask them. First thing I would ask them is, how much is it costing you not to do it? And then, as far as the advice goes, if you just answer that question, how much is it costing you not to do this? And they can actually think and reflect on what their business is doing or what their business is not doing, what their life looks like, and and how it isn't matching up with what they really want, then the answer should be pretty clear for them. And if you got to give them a nudge and you got to give them a little push, then you can take them out back and you can definitely do that one-on-one. But typically, most of the time, when you ask somebody that one key question, what is it costing you not to do this, they can actually reflect, and they can start to figure out and visualize in their mind what their life looks like now and what they really want it to be. And then that light bulb will go off in their head, and man, they'll just be like, I got to do this, right? But Clay doesn't charge enough for his services for anybody to even think that they don't need to do that. Do his coaching plan. If you are stuck, if you're in a rut, if you don't, I grew up playing sports, so I always had coaches. So I always knew the value of coaches. So if somebody didn't grow up, I'm sure somebody grew up with a teacher that was a mentor of some sort that guided them, that helped them go from a B to an A or whatever the case may be, man. I always had coaches, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to build my business without having somebody that knew how to avoid all of the pitfalls that business throws at you. And so it was well worth the thousands of dollars that we spent a month to get this thing done. And now here we are. Like I said, we're franchised out. We've scaled it, everything. I'm a success story from the coaching.
Macy, as you work with clients and as you work with current clients or potential clients, are there any other questions you would have for Gabe Salinas of windowninjas.com when it comes to implementing? Because again, you talk about, hundreds of clients or thousands of clients. He's at that top of the class. He's super coachable, super approachable. He's actually grown his business from, 1 location to 11 locations. He's continuing to scale. Any question that you might have on behalf of a current client or future client that you may be working with?
Did you have any major growing pains when it came to your employees, or was it all they were gung-ho about implementing new things to try new things? What did that look like?
I think you're always going to have a little bit of pushback on your employees. I don't want to say that I didn't, right? But I will say in the beginning, it was good pushback because they were behind me, right? They knew. Now, here we are 7-8 years later, and yeah, now we have different pushback from employees. And the cool thing is, they're pushing back because they don't want to call the leads. Maybe they're pushing back because they don't want to follow up. Maybe they're pushing back because they don't want to do the call on my way guarantee service that we offer. So we just break out the scorecard, and when they fall below a level, boom, we jettison from the team. Right? That means they're not part of our team anymore. So they either have an option now which is be part of the team, or you go find a new team. Now, back then, we weren't quite as large. We didn't have as many employees, and the same rule followed. If you wanted to push back from me, I was willing to listen and hear what they had to say, and I would then make my point. And if they then wanted to keep pushing back and weren't going to follow the system, I just knew immediately I just had to let them go. They had to go. They weren't going to be part of our team because we weren't going to bring in that type of person that just couldn't do what we were expecting them to do.
And folks, if you're watching this right now and you say, you know what, I want to buy a windowninjas.com franchise, simply head on over to windowninjas.com. That's windowninjas.com. You can schedule a free consultation with Gabe and his team. If you're looking to become a business coaching client, you can do that as well. But Gabe, I mean this sincerely. Gabe is and was one of the most coachable people out there. And Gabe, you knew where you wanted to go. And so I never had to battle you about call recording or gathering objective reviews or optimizing your website or coming up with a no-brainer that made sense or auto-wrapping your vehicles or coming up with a memorable logo. None of those areas were battle zones. What advice would you have for somebody watching this show right now and they're going, I want to be successful. I just have a little part of me that wants to argue about following the proven path. What do you say?
You got to let that stuff go. I mean, if you're like I said, if you're listening to this now, and all of what I'm talking about and Clay's talking about resonates with you, and you know that your business is stuck, why fight somebody who is giving you a handout? They're reaching their hand out to lift you up. Why would you fight that? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Or why would you just not even consider making the phone call and saying, hey, can you really help me? Like, this is my problem. Can you really solve my problem? And just do those things, man. What's it going to cost you? Like I said, what's it costing them not to do it? You can give them you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, right? And Clay has this nice big bowl of porridge right there in front of them. And if they don't want to eat it, that's cool. But those are the ones that you probably don't want to be working with at any rate. So, if you're a business owner and you're a real, like a real savvy business owner who knows where they want to go, knows what kind of company they want, just needs some help understanding the how, the processes, what's going to take place for them to be able to scale their business, man, you got to find a coach. You got to have somebody that can mentor you, and you got to do the action items. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck in the same place you are now, probably with a whole lot less money.
Gabe Salinas, I really do appreciate you. I encourage everybody out there, if you have no idea what you want to do with your business career, but you say, I want to be self-employed, I encourage you to consider windowninjas.com. They have 11 great locations to serve you. A wonderful opportunity. Gabe Salinas, thank you so much, and hope you have a great night.
Thanks, Clay.
Hi, I'm Aaron Antis with Shaw Homes. I first heard about Clay through a mortgage lender here in town who had told me what a great job he had been doing for them, and I actually noticed he was driving a Lamborghini all of a sudden, so I was willing to listen. In my career, I've sold a little over $800 million in real estate. So honestly, I thought I kind of knew everything about marketing and homes. And then I met Clay, and my perception of what I knew and what I could do definitely changed. After doing $800 million in sales over a 15-year career, I really thought I knew what I was doing. I've been managing a large team of salespeople for the last 10 years here with Shaw Homes. And I mean, we've been a company that's been in business for 35 years. We've become one of the largest builders in the Tulsa area, and that was without Clay. So when I came to know Clay, I really thought, man, there's not much more I need to know, but I'm willing to listen. The interesting thing is our internet leads from our website has actually, in a 4-month period of time, has gone from somewhere around 10 to 15 leads in a month to 180 internet leads in a month. Just from the few things that he's shown us how to implement that I honestly probably never would have come up with on my own. So I got a lot of good things to say about the system that Clay put in place with us. And it's just been an incredible experience. I am very glad that we met and had the opportunity to work with Clay. So the interaction with the team and with Clay on a weekly basis is honestly very enlightening. One of the things that I love about Clay's perspective on things is that he doesn't come from my industry. He's not somebody who's in the home building industry. I've listened to all the experts in my field. Our company has paid for me to go to seminars, international builder shows, all kinds of places where I've had the opportunity to learn from the experts in my industry. But the thing that I've found working with Clay is that he comes from such a broad spectrum of working with so many different types of businesses that he has a perspective that's difficult for me to gain because I get so entrenched in what I do, I'm not paying attention to what other leading industry experts are doing. And Clay really brings that perspective for me. It is very valuable time every week when I get that hour with him. From my perspective, the reason that any business owner who's thinking about hooking up with Thrive needs to definitely consider it is because the results that we've gotten in a very short period of time are honestly monumental. It has really exceeded my wildest expectation of what he might be able to do. I came in skeptical because I'm very pragmatic, and as I've gone through the process over just a few months, I've realized it's probably one of the best moves we've ever made. I think a lot of people probably feel like they don't need a business or marketing consultant because they maybe are a little bit prideful and like to think they know everything. I know that's how I felt coming in. I mean, we're a big company that's definitely one of the largest in town. And so we kind of felt like we knew what we were doing. And I think for a lot of people, they let their ego get in the way of listening to somebody that might have a better or different perspective than theirs. I would just really encourage you, if you're thinking about working with Clay, I mean, the thing is, it's month to month. Go give it a try and see what happens. I think in the 35-year history of Shaw Homes, this is probably the best thing that's happened to us. And I know if you give them a shot, I think you'll feel the same way. I know for me, the thing I would have missed out on if I didn't work with Clay is I would have missed out on literally an 1,800% increase in our internet leads, going from 10 a month to 180 a month. That would have been a huge financial decision to just decide not to give it a shot. I would absolutely recommend Clay Clark to anybody who's thinking about working with somebody in marketing. I would skip over anybody else you were thinking about, and I would go straight to Clay and his team. I guarantee you're not going to regret it because we sure haven't.
It's been tremendous. I can't say enough about it. Carter keeps me accountable. He keeps me focused on working on the business and implementing things that we need to work on to keep growing the business. When we first started with you, I had 4 employees, and now I'm up to 10 employees. And it's all because of the work we're getting. We're getting more and more work. Clay, I was suffocating. I was, like I said, I was doing the business since 2009, and everything was going through me. And at a point, it's a breaking point. And that's where I think businesses just cave in and give up. And I found you on Rumble, and I started listening to you, and I told myself that it's possible. This guy's system is possible, and I can see hope, and I could keep the business going. And I just encourage people, if you're on the fence, get off the fence and try it. What do you have to gain? Everything. There's a proven path. There's a way to get through it, and there's hope, and the vision becomes clear. You're not stuck. I would join and learn from them and implement, be a diligent doer. Just, does it happen in one day? No. Does it happen in 1 week? No. But if you're just willing to keep trying and peck at it, you'll see it turning. You'll see some improvement, and you'll get hope, and your vision will clear up. It's Jay Poole, and my web address is absoluteheatingcooling.com. We're pretty much a suburb of south of Seattle, and so we service the West Seattle to Lakewood area, and from the water, Puget Sound water, all the way to Maple Valley. I've been in the industry over 20 years. I started my business in 2009. We're basically a family-owned heating and cooling company, and we provide quality installation, repair, and service on all heating and cooling systems, gas fireplaces, gas hot water tanks. Prior to joining your system, I was overwhelmed. And that's because I didn't understand the difference between working in my business and working on my business. I pretty much equated to, I'm an HVAC technician having entrepreneurial seizures because I didn't know the difference between working in and working on it. give up hope. There's a path out of your misery, and that's joining the Thrive Time and reading books and learning and being a doer. Prior to joining Thrive Time, I wasn't a reader, and now I am. And I just started out with telling myself, I love to read, I love to read, I love to read. I didn't start that day reading, but it just kept soaking in. And I picked up a book and I started reading. And that gave me hope and a vision. And that's what people need. We're a family HVAC company. We do residential and light commercial. We specialize in quality installation, quality repair, and quality service.
How much of an impact has it made on your business having your website updated and reinvigorated?
Oh, tremendously. We had a website through another contractor, and we barely got any leads. I probably could count them, and we had it up for over a year or more, and I can count on one hand how many leads we got off it. And now we've been with you going on 10 months, and we get leads. It's amazing.
On today's show, we're interviewing a client who is having success because he's putting in the work. And this just in, nothing works unless we work, right? Nothing works unless you and I put in the effort. And so I'm super honored and excited to interview a diligent doer, a person who says, look, just show me the proven path. I'll put in the work. He's the man with a plan, and he's on today's show. Jay, welcome onto the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks, Clay.
Now, Jay, for people that want to look you up and verify you're real, can you tell us your first and last name and your web address so people can go look you up?
Yeah, it's Jay Poole, and my web address is absoluteheatingcooling.com.
And where are you guys based, or maybe what markets what areas of the marketplace do you service?
We're pretty much a suburb of south of Seattle, and so we service the West Seattle to Lakewood area, and from the water, Puget Sound water, all the way to Maple Valley.
And how long have you been in this particular industry?
I've been in the industry over 20 years. I started my business in 2009.
And what are all the services that you guys provide so people can have a little bit of a context?
We're basically a family-owned heating and cooling company, and we provide quality installation, repair, and service on all heating and cooling systems, gas fireplaces, gas hot water tanks.
Now, I'm going to pull up something on my screen, and you can analyze this, and you might rebuke it and say, Clay, you're out of your mind. But I'm going to pull it up so the listeners can follow my logic or lack thereof. But if we go to usdebtclock.org, which I encourage people not to do, but if you go there, you'll see the U.S. population is sitting at 342 million right now, and there are just 9 million self-employed people. So you have less than 2.5% of our population is self-employed. And for anybody who doesn't like quick math, let me break it down. If 10% of our population was self-employed, that'd be 34 million, but it's not 34, it's 9 million. So you have 2.5% of our population is self-employed. And then Inc. Magazine, this is Inc. Magazine. Inc. Magazine is reporting now that 96% of businesses fail. Who's saying this? Inc. Magazine. Why are they saying this? Because it's true. And so what happens is, Jay, I meet entrepreneurs all the time who come to our conference or they listen to our podcast and they say, Clay, I don't think it's possible to grow my company. I don't think it's possible to get unstuck. And I think we get used to being stuck. I think we get used to it. We almost endure it. We almost go, well, I'm just going to be stuck here. Could you share with the listeners, how much have you been able to grow this year since you and I have been able to team up?
Tremendously. Prior to joining your system, I was overwhelmed. And that's because I didn't understand the difference between working in my business and working on my business. I pretty much equated to, I'm an HVAC technician having entrepreneurial seizures because I didn't know the difference between working in and working on it.
We have a wonderful listener I just talked to moments ago, and maybe you could say something to her or maybe people out there. She says, look, I'm so overwhelmed and we haven't had the opportunity to really guide her down a path. I mean, we're just getting to know this person, and she's like, I'm so overwhelmed. I just feel like I'm swamped. I feel like I'm stuck. I almost feel like giving up, but she's got a lot of money invested in the thing. What do you say to somebody who hasn't gone through our system yet, so they're not where you are, and they maybe feel stuck?
Don't give up hope. There's a path out of your misery, and that's joining the Thrive Time and reading books and learning and being a doer. Prior to joining Thrive Time, I wasn't a reader, and now I am. And I just started out with telling myself, I love to read, I love to read, I love to read. I didn't start that day reading, but it just kept soaking in, and I picked up a book and I started reading. And that gave me hope and a vision, and that's what people need.
It's interesting you say that, because there was a client of mine, I won't mention his name, but he was telling me, I really don't like to read books, let alone write them. I don't like to read books, and I definitely don't want to write them. And now this particular individual, I'll be vague about what he does and what industry he's in, but now he writes books and he sells thousands of them. And he had to tell himself, okay, if you're telling me you know how to turn an idea into a book. And he said to me, well, why would somebody want to read my book? And I go, because you have a problem that you can solve, and I know that you uniquely can solve the problem. So you could write a book that will teach people how to solve the problem, and people will pay for the solution. So with your company now, you're in the industry where you're doing, you solve problems. What kind of problems do you solve for your company?
Well, on the technical level or on the business level?
On the technical level, like what kind of problems, when a customer calls you, what problems are they typically having?
Lots of times that they don't have no heat or they don't have no cooling. And so they want us to come out and diagnose the problem and be forthright and not go there with the idea, I'm going to find a reason to upsell them on a new system, when in reality, they just need a part replaced, or they just need a general tune-up, a precision tune-up. And that's what we provide.
So what we do, and we work with every client, is we basically want to attack 13 areas of business improvement all at one time. And the first area is knowing your goals. And I always sit down with a client. We try to figure out, where are you now versus where do you want to get to? And I don't want you to share on today's show your, specific financial numbers. But as far as knowing your goals, how much did that help you initially, just having somebody working with you on a weekly basis that was aligned to help you achieve those goals?
Tremendously. I learned about tracking my numbers. I learned about accounting. I wasn't doing any of that. And so talking to Carter, who's my coach, he's helped me to understand those things and to realize those goals and put the numbers down and look at them every day to keep working for that.
This is powerful, folks. And again, someone says, well, this doesn't seem like a super complicated, circular, emotional-based interview. This seems very literal. That's what it is. Box number 2, you got to know your break-even numbers. You got to know, how much somethings do I have to sell to break even? And again, I'm not asking you to share your specific numbers, but how much does it help you to know, hey, we got to sell at least this much to pay my mortgage or my utilities, or just to break even?
Well, it gives you peace of mind that you can make your employee wages paid, a peace of mind that you're going to be able to pay your rent, peace of mind that you can buy equipment so you can install it the next week.
And for people out there that don't know your industry, would you also refer to your industry as HVAC? Is that what people call HVAC?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, we're a family HVAC company. We do residential and light commercial. We specialize in quality installation, quality repair, and quality service.
Now, I talked to a gentleman today who happens to be in California, true story, who does what you do in the California area. And I hear all the time, people will say, because I'm in California, you don't understand. It's tough out here in California. It's tough. And one of our great clients, they're in New York. And I remember talking to this client, they're in New York, and they go, you don't understand what it's like to be a New York business owner. It is tough. And what I find is no matter where people live, they always will find that is the excuse that they're going to give themselves if they want to. Or I find people, no matter where in the country they live, they'll make that the kind of the motivator. They'll say, in spite of the fact that I live in this city or this state or wherever, I'm going to have success. Do you feel like that the success you're having is is accelerated because you live just outside of Seattle? I mean, is Seattle booming? Is that what's driving your success?
Yeah, Seattle area and the suburbs are highly densely populated. But you know what's generated our success is the integrity and the honesty that we deal with the customer. People are craving for contractors to be truthful. And when you are and you deal with them on that level, they become your relational customer,
I
a
believe in
long-time
that.
customer.
I believe in that. I believe in that. Now, box number 4, we have to figure out your unique value proposition. I want everybody to go with me right now. We're going to go to the website, absoluteheatingcooling.com. Everybody put it in your web browser right now. Search for it. Find it, absoluteheatingcooling.com. Everybody go there right now. I'm going there. You're going there. Everybody's going there. absoluteheatingcooling.com. What we have to do with your business, Jay, and for every business, is we've got to make your website look first class. And it doesn't mean that your website is done. We're not done improving it, but we have to get it done, and then we have to keep perfecting it until it's perfect. So I want to get your thought here. With your website right now, how much of an impact has it made on your business having your website updated and reinvigorated?
Oh, tremendously. We had a website through another contractor, and we barely got any leads. I probably could count them, and we had it up for over a year or more, and I can count on one hand how many leads we got off it. And now we've been with you going on 10 months, and we get leads. It's amazing.
You're getting leads. And again, if you're watching this show and you say, I feel discouraged, I feel like I'm frustrated, I'm telling you, Jay can do it, you can do it. Next box number 5, you got to improve that branding. Your website, your print pieces, your auto wraps, everything has to be awesome or nothing. Awesome or nothing. Great or nothing. Jay, how much has it helped you knowing that, hey, frankly, I mean, full disclosure, you're paying us $1,700 a month, and that includes everything. So we guide you down the path, but knowing that you have how much, I guess, has that helped you knowing that you have a team that's going to do everything that we're asking you to do from a branding perspective, website, photography, video, search engine, video, online ads, all of that's included in that flat monthly fee?
It's been tremendous. I can't say enough about it. Carter keeps me accountable. He keeps me focused on working on the business and implementing things that we need to work on to keep growing the business. When we first started with you, I had 4 employees, and now I'm up to 10 employees. And it's all because of the work we're getting. We're getting more and more work.
Amen. And that's why we do it. Now, again, money's a magnifier. So if you're watching this show right now and you're a jerk, if you have a lot of money, you'll become a huge jerk. And one thing I have found in my life, I mean this, Jay, I have seen people in my life in a 4-year period of time, 5-year period of time, go from a humble, coachable person to a massive jerk. And it hasn't happened once or twice or 3 times. It's happened a lot because money's a magnifier. And so money just allows you to give more if you're a giver. It allows you to take more steroids if you want to take steroids. It allows you to be cold to people, really cold. If you're a person who wants to be cold, it allows you to be really cold. If you're a person who wants to be nice and giving to the community or to the people around you, it allows you to be to do that to a greater extent. As your company has grown, what has it done for you? And again, I'm not fishing for those numbers, but what has it done for you knowing that, wow, we've got a little extra money now, we're able to pay the bills, we're not in panic mode. What's that done for you, just your mindset or you and your family and what you've been able to do?
Well, first of all, I've been able to give more to my church. Second of all, I've been able also to bless my employees by buying them some stuff. And one example was you brought up Mike Lindell, and we bought bed sheets for everybody and pillowcases for everybody. And I know that's kind of quirky sounding, but I totally got into it. It was a blessing.
That's the kind of stuff. I'm just telling you, folks, once you grow a successful company, it's going to allow you to give more, to be more. Okay, now box number 6, you have to have a 3-legged marketing stool. Now, we're kind of pacing ourselves. I want to respect your time. But a 3-legged marketing stool is you have to have a proven turnkey system in place that allows you to gain more customers without needing to do the following 5 things. Without needing to go viral. Hello. Because if your business model is based upon you going viral, then you have to think about going viral. 2, it doesn't require you to geographically travel the earth. Jay, you don't have to circumnavigate America in order to generate leads. 3, you don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be a genius. What if your marketing plan involved you being a genius and traveling around all the time and going viral? You wouldn't have time freedom or financial freedom. 4, it's profitable. What does it profit you if you have a marketing strategy that makes everyone around you poor, and it allows you to gain customers, but you don't actually do it profitably? I mean, what if you have to pay your employees nothing and you don't have any profit left to pay your partners? What's the point of it? And the 5th thing, your marketing system, it needs to be something that allows you to create time freedom and financial freedom. Jay, if you had a marketing system that required you to be up at night till 10 o'clock every night, responding to things and posting things and going viral for things and constantly reaching out to people on social media, you wouldn't have much in the way of time freedom. So I want to get your thoughts. What's it meant for you and your wife and your family to have a turnkey marketing system that generates you leads day in, day out?
It's been tremendous. One part of the marketing leg was working our dream list with property management companies and with HOA associations and churches, just consistently reaching out to those in places once a week. Now all of a sudden we don't have a low period and a high period because of reaching out to those places. We've been able to fill the low with service work and keeping our employees employed. It's tremendous.
Now, you have this thing called the Dream 100 that you do, and I want you to talk about that. Chet Holmes, the best-selling author of The Ultimate Sales Machine, he's the one that came up with the system. It's the Ultimate Sales Machine, written by Chet Holmes. Incredible book. Chet Holmes, may he rest in peace. But he talks about making a list of your ideal and likely buyers and relentlessly reaching out to them to tell them, hey, we exist and we can solve problems for you. Could you tell us a little bit more about your Dream 100 system and how you do that? Because you do it very well.
Well, I watched your video on your Tower of Power, and then I just implemented the plan. And that was for a 3 or 4 week stretch. We just sent them a one sheet all about us. And then after that, we would show up with a little gift bag and talk about just opportunities that, hey, we're just there to help you. And if there's ever a time you need an HVAC company to work on any kind of your systems like fireplaces or heating and cooling, we'll be there. And we'd love to get your packet so that we're all signed up and ready to go. And all you got to do is call us. It's been tremendous.
Now, again, you are doing it. You're following the systems. That's called the Dream 100 system. That's one part of the system. Box number 7, for sake of time, we have to have great sales systems. You got to have sales scripts, recorded calls, one sheets. That's like a marketing brochure. You have to have pre-written emails and a tracking system. We do all that. We're doing all that. Have we done all of it? No. Are we building all of it? Yes. We're getting there. And again, Jay, if you had to describe the growth you've had, you're stuck in an elevator with somebody and they go, come on. How much growth have you really had? If you had to describe it, I mean, you said you went from what? You said a couple tech or 4 techs to
4 to 10. Yeah. In 10 months. It's been 10 months. Yeah.
It's powerful. I'm telling you, folks, you can do it. If you're watching this and you feel discouraged right now, you can do it. And to quote the guy who follows Adam Sandler around in his movies, you can do it. Yes. Rob Schneider. Yes, you can do it. Okay. Box number 8. You have to determine a sustainable customer acquisition cost. So how much does it cost you to gain a new customer? You have to track that. If you don't track it, again, you must measure what you treasure. You will slack where you don't track. What am I saying? You have to measure what you treasure. You will slack where you don't track. It is so important. So again, we track all the numbers. So we know that, Jay, you're getting business from your Dream 100 marketing. You're reaching out to people that don't know you and you're saying, hello, we would love to serve you and provide services for you. And we know it's working because we track. What would happen, Jay, if you didn't track weekly, every single week with Carter and our entire coaching team?
We would we'd be lost, and we wouldn't know how much money we're spending on advertising. And prior to that, we were spending probably $150 a week on Google advertising. And now, because we're implementing your processes, we're getting Google reviews and video reviews, and you guys are doing the HCL content on our website. We're down to like $5 now a day, $28 a week spending on Google ads, which is tremendous. But I want to backtrack one thing, Clay, when we talked about the previous one, is we didn't have hardly any maintenance agreements signed up with our customers. And so we slowly been working on that. And then we have stand-up crew meetings at 7:45. And in that, we do some job role shadowing where we try to help our techs work with objections, overcoming objections with customers. And that's been tremendous. And that has increased our maintenance program big time. Plus, we incentivize our technicians with money to talk to our customers to sign up with the 3 options of a maintenance agreement.
Again, you're doing a daily huddle. We teach that. We teach that, folks. That's something we teach. I'm telling you, if you have a business and you hate yourself, don't do a daily huddle. So we're moving on to box number 9. You have to create to build an organization. You have to be organized. What? Yes. So to build an organization, you have to be organized. You can't spend your entire meeting looking for passwords and documents. You've got to save things properly, file nomenclature, saving passwords in the right place. I can't tell you how many clients I meet with, wonderful people. They're going, I haven't updated my website in 4 years. I say, why not? They say, I can't find the passwords. So you got to have systems and processes. Box number 10, you got to manage people. This just in. You can't just hire people. It requires teamwork to make the dream work. Jay, you've got those daily huddles going, those daily standing meetings. How much has that impacted you, having those daily standing huddles where you get on the same page with everybody before you start your day?
They're huge. They create a teamwork atmosphere. Everybody knows what needs to happen and what needs to get done, and everybody knows what we need to get done to be profitable, so that we can then pay our employees more money. That's important.
Again, folks, there's so many things that Jay's doing. He's doing it well. I'm just super excited for Jay to be able to encourage everybody out there. Box number 11, you got to have a repeatable, sustainable weekly schedule. There's always one more job, one more opportunity, one more crisis. You got to be able to schedule. And Jay, you've done that. You're doing that. It's always something we're working on. Box number 12, again, I mentioned it earlier. It requires teamwork to make the dream work. You've got to have a system in place for hiring, inspiring, training, and retaining. You have to have a system in place to hire, inspire, train, and retain. Once again, you have to have a system in place to hire, inspire, train, and retain. If you cannot find good people, train good people, yes, even in Seattle, someone says, you can't find good people in Seattle? Oh, yeah, you can. People say, you can't find good people in California? Oh, yes, you can. Could you talk about the hiring process, the hiring systems, and how much that's impacted you, being able to now find good people, hire, inspire, train, and retain good people?
Sure. Before Thrive, I would interview people one at a time. And that was a waste of my time, because sometimes I'd interview 4 people and there went 4 hours of my life. And then I learned about the group interview. And so we started scheduling that. And it's been incredible. You can find the A players in those kind of situations. And that's so beneficial to us. And plus, I don't waste 4 hours. I'm only concentrating on 1 hour. And it's been super beneficial. I got to also, when I went down to the Thrivetime conference last month, I got to watch you do the interviews, and you just made it so easy and understanding. And I was putting too much stress on myself, and I followed your advice, and then I read the little sheet of paper you handed out talking about Adam Sandler and his. I even put that into my interview process.
It just lightens it up a little bit. It lightens it up a little bit. Yeah. I'll say this for anybody out there watching. We had 31 people that were supposed to be at our interview on Wednesday night. 31. Which is more than 30, by the way. And you would think, wow, how are you going to interview 31 people at the same time? And I'm counting, and 7 people showed up, but of the 7 that showed up, we only had 2 that I could count that mentally showed up. What am I saying? Only 2 of those 7 even showed up anywhere close to on time. So, and these aren't like early morning interviews. These aren't late night interviews. This is 5:30 p.m. So I'm just telling you folks, you got to do this process for hiring people. My final question I would ask you for anybody out there, my final 2 questions, for anybody out there that is not a client, that is not paying our team $1,700 a month to help them start and grow a successful company, could you describe what kind of impact has it made on you, your business, your family?
Like I told you earlier in the interview, Clay, I was suffocating. Like I said, I was doing the business since 2009, and everything was going through me. And at a point, it's a breaking point. And that's where I think businesses just cave in and give up. And I found you on Rumble and I started listening to you. And I told myself that it's possible. This guy's system is possible. And I can see hope and I could keep the business going. And I just encourage people, if you're on the fence, get off the fence and try it. What do you have to gain? Everything. There's a proven path. There's a way to get through it, and there's hope, and the vision becomes clear.
Final question is, how would you describe the conferences? Because I never know how you guys are going to react, because people like Dr. Zellner show up, or Tim Tebow, or Eric Trump, or we bring in a lot of people. The room is filled with clients who are successful, so we bring up client success stories. And the way it works is we do 30 minutes of teaching, and then I do a 15-minute Q&A, and those questions are based upon the questions that attendees are writing on the whiteboard. So I never know how it's going to go. I know we're going to cover the systems, but how would you describe the conferences?
They're incredible. They're full of energy. And then when you have a break, you can talk to people that are in the business too and learn from them. And also sometimes give it some advice that, hey, I went through that. And so I started doing a calendar and it's helped me keep on task. And I started doing a to-do list and it's helped me to keep on task. And there's hope. There's a way to get out of it and to move on.
I'll give you the final word, final 30 seconds. Anybody watching this right now, maybe someone feels down in the dumps. They feel like they are stuck with their business. What do you say?
No, you're not stuck. I would join and learn from them and implement, be a diligent doer. Just, does it happen in one day? No. Does it happen in 1 week? No. But if you're just willing to keep trying and peck at it, you'll see it turning. You'll see some improvement and you'll get hope. And your vision will clear up.
Jay, thank you so much for your time, for your energy. And for anybody out there, if you learned anything on today's show, I want you to share this show with a friend. Surely you shall share. If you're watching this right now and you learned something, share it with a friend. And I would encourage you to check out that website, absoluteheatingcooling.com. Jay's a real guy. He has a real business, a great family. That's absoluteheatingcooling.com. And by the way, folks, a little search engine tip. It does help Jay's website rank higher. Thus, it will benefit him in the short term and the long term if everybody goes to visit that website. So everybody right now, go with me now. Go to absoluteheatingcooling.com. That's absoluteheatingcooling.com. Jay, it's an honor to know you, sir, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Clay. It's an honor to talk to you.
Clay Clark, man, he is one character.
It's a good word for him, character. Yeah, that is it.
Good, driven, smart, and I've never met a guy who was so hyper all the time. He's doing so much good. And then I met his mother, and she just says, she just lets him be Clay Clark. I mean, so he's endorsed by his mother, and he's doing magnificent work. So it was great meeting you out there and all the people that he surrounds himself with. Clay Clark starts his days at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, he's a machine. He's a machine.
Yeah. But I have problems with my company starting at 9 o'clock. Yes, hundreds of people showing up at 5 a.m. in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Man, he's a leader of a leader. He's a fantastic young man.
Are you looking to start or grow a super successful business? Join Eric Trump, the New York Times bestselling author of The Carnivore Diet, Sean Baker. Join hundreds of real business owner client success stories at the highest rated business conference in America. Join Mel K, Julie Green, Amanda Grace, Pastor Dave Scarlett, and myself in Tulsa, Oklahoma, November 5th and 6th. Attend the most real, the most authentic, the highest rated, and most reviewed Ultimate Business Growth Workshop. During this 2-day interactive business workshop, you're going to learn everything you need to know to make your business grow. Learn how to generate more sales. Learn how to produce additional high-quality inbound leads. Learn how to create repeatable systems. Learn how to build a successful business. And learn how to do it now. If you've ever wanted to learn how to start and grow a super successful company, this is the event for you. At our 2-day interactive business workshop, we will teach you specifically every step that you need to take to start and grow a super successful company. We will teach you specifically how to get to the top of the Google search engine results, how to dominate artificial intelligence search results, how to market via social media, how to generate more leads, and how to get in front of your ideal and likely buyers. We're going to teach you the step-by-step processes that you need to learn in order to hire, inspire, train, and retain high-quality employees and teammates. We're going to teach you specifically what you need to learn to manage a team of people. We're going to teach you how to manage your finances, how to look at the numbers, and to figure out the specific steps that you need to take to create a time freedom and financial freedom producing business. At the Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshop, we've been teaching entrepreneurs everything they need to know to start and grow a successful company since 2005. In fact, at our 2-day interactive business workshops, we're going to teach you marketing, systems and scaling, human resources, accounting, social media marketing, branding, search engine optimization, sales training, financial management, and so much more. You can learn more and request tickets today simply by going to thrivetimeshow.com. Yes, you can request tickets today simply by going to thrivetimeshow.com. That's the website. Join Eric Trump, myself, and Team America live and in person at the Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshop, November 5th and 6th in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is MultiClean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas and soon to be Arkansas. We have probably grown 5 times. We've added, I think when we first started with you, we had 60 to 65 employees. And now we have a little over 300 employees. Before we got involved with Thrivetime, we didn't really have any systems or processes in place. So I've probably been to, in 6-7 years, I've probably been to 12 to 13 business conferences. And amazingly, each time I go, I learn something new, and I'm so excited to bring it back and show the team about marketing and how to implement.
Okay, Aaron Antis, November 5th and 6th. Guess who's coming back to Tulsa? I will give you a hint. His first name is Eric, and his last name is Trump. Whoa. And his father is the 47th president of these United States. Yes, Eric Trump is joining us once again here September 25th and 26th in Tulsa, Oklahoma for the 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show Business Growth Workshop. But Eric Trump is bringing friends. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Amanda Grace will be in the place. Dr. Stella Emanuel will be here in T-Town in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Julie Green will be on the scene. Mel K will be here to say hey. Dave Scarlett from the His Glory team will be here. It's going to be a blasty blast right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you want to start or grow a super successful company, if you want to make your wallet great again or make your wallet great for the first time, if you want to learn marketing, systems, scaling, human resources, accounting, social media, branding, search engine optimization, sales training, financial management, and more, get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. Once again, that's thrivetimeshow.com.
Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy. I'm originally from Tulsa, born and raised here. I've definitely learned a lot about life design and making sure the business serves you. The linear workflow for us and getting everything out on paper and documented is really important. Like we have workflows that are kind of all over the place, so having linear workflow and seeing that mapped out on multiple different boards is pretty awesome. That's really helpful for me. The atmosphere here is awesome. I definitely just stared at the walls, figuring out how to make my facility look like this place. This place rocks. It's invigorating. The walls are super, it's just very cool. The atmosphere is cool. The people are nice. It's a pretty cool place to be. Very good learning atmosphere. I literally want to model it and steal everything that's here at this facility and basically create it just on our business side. Play is hilarious. I literally laughed so hard that I started having tears yesterday. And we've been learning a lot, which, you know, we've been sitting here, we've been learning a lot, and so the humor definitely helps. It breaks it up. But the content is awesome, off the charts, and it's very interactive. You can raise your hand. It's not like you're just listening to the professor speak, The wizard teaches, but the wizard interacts and he takes questions, so that's awesome. If you're not attending the conference, you're missing about 3/4 to half of your life. You're definitely... It's probably worth a couple $1,000s. So you're missing the thought process of someone that's already started like 9 profitable businesses. So not only is it a lot of good information, but just getting in the thought.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
Well, people don't know this, but the Trump organization has thousands of employees. There's not 50 employees. The Trump organization, again, most people don't know this, but the Trump organization has thousands of employees. And while Donald J. Trump was the 45th president of these United States, he needed a competent man to run and execute his business plans. Showtime! So the man that runs the Trump organization for Donald J. Trump, as he was the 45th president of the United States and now the 47th president of the United States, is Eric Trump. And so Eric Trump is here to talk about time management, promoting from within, marketing, branding, quality control, sales systems, workflow design, workflow mapping, how to build. I mean, everything that you see, the Trump hotels, the Trump golf courses, all their products, the man who manages billions of dollars of real estate and thousands of employees is here to teach us how to do it.
You are talking about one of the greatest brands on the planet from a business standpoint.
Right.
I mean, who else has been able to create a brand like the Trump brand? I mean, look at it. And this is the man behind the business for the last, pretty much since 2015. He's been the man behind it. So you're talking, we're into 9 going into 10 years of him running it, and we get to tap into that knowledge. That's going to be amazing.
Now, think about this for a second.
But that Clay Clark, man, he is one character.
It's a good word for him. Character. Yeah, that is it.
Good, driven, smart. And I've never met a guy who was so hyper all the time. He's doing so much good. And then I met his mother, and she just says, she just lets him be Clay Clark. I mean, so he's endorsed by his mother, and he's doing magnificent work. So it was great meeting you out there and all the people that he surrounds himself with. Clay Clark starts his days at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, he's a machine. He's a machine.
But I have problems with my company starting at 9 o'clock. Yes, hundreds of people showing up at 5 a.m. in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Man, he's a leader of a leader. He's a fantastic young man.
No, he is.
The lineup continues to grow, and this is how we do our tickets here at the Thrivetime Show. If you want to get a VIP ticket, you can absolutely do it. It's $500 for a VIP ticket. We've always done it that way. Now, if you want to take a general admission ticket, it's $250 or whatever price you want to pay. And the reason why I do that, and the reason why we do that is because we want to make our events affordable for everybody. I grew up without money. I totally understand what it's like to be in a tight spot. So if you want to attend, it's $250 or whatever price you want to pay. That's how I do it. And it's $500 for a VIP ticket. Now, we only have limited seating here. With the most people we've ever had in this building was for the Jim Brewer presentation. Jim Brewer came here, the legendary comedian Jim Brewer came to Tulsa, and we had
718 people. 718 people.
And I thought to myself, there's no more room. I felt kind of bad that if a couple people had VIP seats in the men's restroom. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. But I thought, you know what, we should probably add on. So again, if you want to get tickets for this event, all you have to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. When you go to thrivetimeshow.com, you'll go there, you'll request a ticket, boom. Or if you want to text me, if you want a little bit faster service, you say, I want you to call me right now. Just text my number. It's my cell phone number, my personal cell phone number. We'll keep that private between you, me, everybody. We'll keep that private. And anybody. Don't share that with anybody except for everybody. That's my private cell phone number. It's 918-851-0102. 918-851-0102. I know we have a lot of Spanish-speaking people that attend these conferences, and to be bilingually sensitive, my cell phone number is 918-851-0102.
02. That is not actually bilingual. That's just saying Juan for a one. It's not the same thing.
I think you're attacking me. Now, let's talk about this. Now, what kind of stuff will you learn at the Thrivetime Show workshop? So, Aaron, you've been to many of these over the past 7-8 years. So let's talk about it. I'll tee up the thing, and then you tell me what you're going to learn here, okay?
Okay.
You're going to learn marketing and branding. What are we going to learn about marketing and branding?
Oh, yeah. We're going to dive into, so many people say, I got to get my brand known out there, like the Trump brand, right? You want to get that brand out there. It's like, how do I actually make people know what my business is and make it a household name? You're going to learn some intricacies of how you can do that.
You're going to learn sales. So many people struggle to sell something. This just in, your business will go to hell if you can't sell. So we're going to teach you sales. We're going to teach you search engine optimization, how to come up top in the search engine results. We're going to teach you how to manage people. Aaron, you have managed, no exaggeration, hundreds of people throughout your career and thousands of contractors. And most people struggle with managing people. Why does everybody have to learn how to manage people?
Well, because first of all, you either have great people or you have people who suck. And so it can be a challenge. Learning how to work with a large group of people and get everybody pulling in the same direction can be a challenge. But if you have the right systems, you have the right processes, and you're really good at selecting great ones, and we have a process we teach about how to find great people. When you start with the people who have a great attitude, they're teachable, they're driven, all of those things, then you can get those people all pulling in the same direction.
So we're going to teach you branding, marketing, sales, search engine optimization. We're going to teach you accounting. We're going to teach you personal finance, how to manage your finance. We're going to teach you time management. How do you manage your time? How do you get more done during a typical day? How do you build an organization if you're not organized? How do you do organization? How do you build an org chart? Everything that you need to know to start and grow a business will be taught during this 2-day interactive business workshop. Now, let me tell you how the format is set up here. And again, folks, this is a 2-day interactive 15. Think about this, folks. It's 2 days. Each day it starts at 7 a.m. and it goes until 5 p.m. So from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., 2 days. It's a 2-day interactive workshop. The way we do it is we do a 30-minute teaching session, and then we break for 15 minutes for a question and answer session. So, Aaron, what kind of great stuff happens during that 15-minute question and answer session after every teaching session?
I actually think it's the best part about the workshops, because here's what happens. I've been to lots of these things over the years. I've paid many thousands of dollars to go to them. And you go in there and they talk in vague generalities, and they're constantly upselling you for something, trying to get you to buy this thing or that thing or this program or this membership. And you leave not getting your very specific questions answered about your business or your employees or what you're doing on your marketing. And what's awesome about this is we literally answer every single question that any person asks, and it's very specific to what your business is.
And what we do is we allow you as the attendee to write your questions on the whiteboard. And then we literally, as you mentioned, we answer every single question on the whiteboard. And then we take a 15-minute break to stretch and to make it entertaining when you're stretching. And this is a true story. When you get up and stretch, you'll be greeted by mariachis. There's going to probably be alpaca here, llamas, helicopter rides, a coffee bar, a snow cone. There's just...
You had a crocodile one time. That was pretty interesting.
I should write that down and actually do that.
Sorry for that one guy that we lost.
The crocodile, we duct taped its face so that we duct taped.
No, it was a baby crocodile.
And it was duct tape.
Duct tape around the mouth so it didn't bite anybody. But it was really cool passing that thing around and
I should do that. We have a small petting zoo that will be assembled. It's going to be great. And then you're in the company of hundreds of entrepreneurs. So there's not a lot of people in America today. In fact, there's less than 10 million people today, according to U.S. Debt Clock, that identify as being self-employed. So if you have a country with 350 million people, that means you have less than 3% of our population that's even self-employed. So you only have 3 out of every 100 people in America that are self-employed to begin with. And when Inc. magazine reports that 96% of businesses fail by default, you have a 1 out of 1,000 chance of succeeding in the game of business. But yet the average client that you and I work with, we can typically double this. And this is no hyperbole. No exaggeration. And I have thousands of testimonials to back this up. We have thousands of testimonials to back it up. But when you work with a home builder, when I work with a business owner, we can typically double the size of the company within 24 months.
Yeah.
Double. And you say double? Yeah, there's businesses that we have tripled. There's businesses we've grown 8x. There's so many examples you can see at thrivetimeshow.com. But again, this is the most interactive, best business workshop on the planet. This is objectively the highest rated and most reviewed business workshop on the planet.
I was looking to learn how to take my business, like they've said today, from being very successful to being systematic. I've got a very successful practice in 3 different cities, make good money. Just want to take it to the next level with systems and processes to where I can drive my cars more.
Paul Hood.
I've been a CPA for 33 years.
And what kind of growth have you and your great team had here over the past, let's say, 5-6 years?
The last 5, when I met you 5 years ago, we were doing 3 million. This year we'll do 24 million.
Whoa. And you say, Clay, I'm not going to get a ticket unless you give me more. Okay, fine. We're going to serve you the same meal both days. True story. We cater in the food, and because I keep it simple, I literally bring in the same food both days for lunch. It's Ted Escondido's, an incredible Mexican restaurant. That's going to happen. And if someone says, I want more, this is not enough.
Give me more.
Okay, I'm not going to mention their names right now because I'm working on it behind the scenes here. But we've got one guy who's given me a verbal to be here. And this is a guy who's one of the wealthiest people in Oklahoma. And nobody really knows who he is because he's built systems that are very utilitarian, that offer a lot of value. He's made a lot of money in the, it's where you rent. It's short term. It's where you're renting storage spaces. He's a storage space guy. He owns the. What do you call that? The rental.
A storage space.
Storage units. This guy owns storage units. He owns railroad cars. He owns a lot of assets that make money on a daily basis, but they're not like customer facing. Most people don't know who owns the mini storage facility, or most people don't know who owns the warehouse that's passively making money. Most people don't know who owns the railroad cars, but this guy, he's given me a verbal that he will be here, and we just continue to add more and more success stories. So if you're out there today and you want to change your life, you want to give yourself an incredible gift, you want a life-changing experience, you want to learn how to start and grow a company, go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go there right now, thrivetimeshow.com. Request a ticket for the 2-day interactive event.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Thomas Crossan, owner and founder of Full Package Media in Dallas, Texas. I've been a coaching client with Clay Clark since the beginning of our business. We started about a year ago, August of last year. I had no clients, no idea what we were doing, no clue really what was going on. And now we've grown to where we've got 6 photographers, we've got office space here. I have an admin, sales person that works for us full time, developing an online system. And a lot of that growth we attribute to Clay helping us. And there's so many things that his stuff is not, revolutionary. It's not this crazy walk on hot coals and all this stuff. It's just real stuff.
It's going to be a blasty blast. There's no upsells. Aaron, I could not be more excited about this event.
I think it is incredible. And there's somebody out there right now, you're watching and you're like, but I already signed up for this incredible other program called Smoke Your Way to Thin. I think that's going to change your life. I promise you this will be 10 times better than that.
Whoa. It's like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
Now, don't do the Smoke Your Way to Thin conference. That is, I've tried it. Don't do it.
Yeah, chain smoking is not a viable. It is life changing. It is life changing. If you become a chain smoker, it is life changing.
Not the best weight loss program, though.
Right. Really. So if you're looking to have life changing results in a way that won't cause you to have a stoma, get your tickets at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's Aaron Antis. I'm Clay Clark, and reminding you and inviting you to come out to the 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show workshop right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I promise you it will be a life-changing experience. We can't wait to see you right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Whoa. What kind of growth have you had since you and I have been working together over these past few years?
3.45 million. I got those stats before I got on here.
So you've grown by 3.45 million.
Yeah, 3,450,000.
Would that be like if you took the combined revenue, maybe doubled it? Have we gone up by like
About almost 3, not quite.